Welcome back. So I'm going to go a little quicker through this introduction because you already been through it once. So learning target for today is I can find unit rates. Remember that my goal is to make this a 10 to 15 minute video. So you take twice the video's length to pause, wonder, rewatch, change the playback speed, make me go slow, make me go really fast, and make sure you have other sites and other resources to look at. And these are notes to your future self. We're going to go over these and practice more in class the next day or right after this. So make sure that you have good reference notes to look at because you're going to use them in our activities. All right, so on to table of contents, make sure that you have a unit rates. Our next page number in our case right now is 2, but yours may be different. That's totally fine. And moving on to page 2. Again, I'm moving fast because I expect you to pause. So unit rates, our learning target is I can find unit rates. If you want to put that there, that'd be awesome because then it tells you at the end, can you say this out loud and will it be true? After this lesson, can you find unit rates? Again, we're on page 2 and we're going to start off with some definitions. So our first definition is rate. And this is a really faint, well, it shows up. Rate. Okay, so a rate is a ratio of two quantities of different units. And I'm purposely doing a marker type thing to make my handwriting larger. So if you have larger handwriting, it should still fit. I have 1 page of notes here, so it should fit in this one notebook page. All right, an example of a rate. Example would be 70 miles per 2 hours. So you drove 70 miles in 2 hours. That's that rate. That's what it's explaining. It's saying I have 2 units. I have miles and I have hours. This is just like, it's a ratio. It is a ratio. It's a fraction. So 70 miles to 2 hours. Okay. And a unit rate is a special type of rate. It's a rate in terms of, I'm going to put this in all caps, 1 unit. Okay, this means that it is a fraction with. Now this W/ is shorthand for with. So if you ever write the word with, you're welcome to write all 4 letters out, or you can write this abbreviation. I also put stars next to things in case it's something special or important about this unit rate and specifically. EX stands for example, so I don't have to write out the whole word example. So a fraction with a denominator of 1. And I put that in all caps over 2 lines because it is important. So if I take this rate of 70 miles to 2 hours, I can simplify it to make 35 miles, and again, MI represents miles, to 1 hour, and HR represents hour. This 1 is in the denominator. Remember, D stands for down, so the down, or that bottom number, is a denominator. The numerator is in the top. So numerator is 35 miles, denominator is 1 hour. All right, so we're going to go over examples, and I'm going to show you how to change color, because why not? So after we did our definitions, we're going to do some more examples of just where have we seen them. So the most common example is one we already did. It's your speed limit. So think about the street you live on or a road your parents drive a lot on. What's the speed limit? So when I commute to Mounds View, which is where I'm currently teaching when I'm making this video, most of the highways that I'm on have a speed limit of 65 miles per hour. That miles per hour means 1 hour. So they're not saying per 1 hour because they're just assuming you know it's a 1. And so this is already a unit rate. Your speed limit is a unit rate. But what are other examples of rates, of unit rates that you know in your life? pause the video, think of some, talk with a neighbor, talk with your parents. I'm sure they know lots of rates. So some examples would be like insurance rates. You paid that percentage, or interest rates, I guess, actually. You pay that percentage every month that you have to pay, or if you're tax, you're paying that percentage over a year, or sales tax, you're paying that percentage or portion, that rate for whatever you're buying. So in Texas, at least when I grew up, I think maybe all our counties are different. I don't know really sure. So county has tax, state has tax, and city's going to have tax. And all of that makes your whole sales tax. So if you look at some receipts, they'll actually tell you the percentage of what your sales tax is. When I grew up, my sales tax was 8.25%. That means I'm paying 8.25 cents for every $1. So that's actually cents. So that's my unit, 8.25 cents, 8.25 cents for every $1 that I spent. So if I went to the Dollar Tree, they would charge me, sometimes I think I've been to a Dollar Tree where they've charged me $1.09 because they round up. And sometimes they just have higher sales tax, but that $1.08. So even if you're going to the Dollar Tree, it's going to cost you $1.08 because you have that 8 cents worth of tax. Okay. So, another example, we're going to change color again. I'm going to do pen. We'll see how pen works on this. Okay, so we're going to put finding again as our side heading. And now this is going to be a word problem again. So, a subway train travels at a speed, I'm going to not say speed just because of room, of 10 miles per 20 minutes. So I want two examples, A and B. I want us to find the rate of speed in miles per minute. And I also want to find, ignore that, Snapchat, find the unit rate in miles per minute. I think this should be minutes for the sake of what we're doing. Okay, so find the rate of speed in miles per minute. So remember, a rate, we're going to write it as a fraction, but it is any ratio really, but we're going to use fractions more often. And so this rate of speed, if you want to pause this and try to figure it out on your own, go for it. You know everything about it. So for this rate, we're going to do 10 miles per, so this fraction bar is your per, 20 minutes. And again, you don't have to write out the whole unit. You could just put MI and MIN for minutes and miles and minutes respectively. Okay, so that is our rate. But now I want it to be a unit rate. So I need a unit rate. I still need miles in the numerator. I still need minutes in the denominator. That's still miles per minute. That part hasn't changed. But this unit rate tells me the denominator has to be 1. Okay, so I know everything except this mysterious numerator. Now, how do I go from 20, multiplying or dividing, how do I go from 20 to a 1? I'm actually going to be dividing by 20. All right, 20 divided by 20, 1. Now, if I divide by 20 in the denominator, I have to also divide by 20 in the numerator. So when I divide by 20, what is 10 divided by 20? So take a moment and pause. What is 10 divided by 20? It's going to be 1/2. So the subway train is traveling 1/2 mile every single minute. And that is our unit rate of miles per minute. Okay. I'm going to change back to green because why not? Next example is based off of apples. So you buy 3 pounds of apples for $3.87. So pounds is LBS. That's our abbreviation for pounds in America. So I'm going to have examples C and D because we just did A and B. Now we're on C and D. So I'm going to find the rate and unit rate of pounds of apples per $1. And D, I want to find rate and unit rate for cost per 1 pound of apples. Okay, so pause here, write down those 2 questions, and we'll move on. So finding the rate and unit rate of pounds per $1. That tells me that my fraction, the numerator has to be pounds, and it's per $1. Boom. I know my denominator has to be $1. I know my numerator has to be pounds. So I need to figure that out. Now, the only information I know, I'm going to write this in black so we can see it. So I only know that I buy 3 pounds of apples for $3.87. Now, we are dealing with money. I'm okay with using a calculator here just because money and decimals. I'm not going to know what 3 divided by $3.87 is. So I am going to use my calculator here. And so I'm going to do 3 divided by $3.87. Hit enter. So this 77.5 cents, that 5, this 5 is 5 or larger, so it will round this 7 up. So it's going to be 78 cents. Or 78 pounds, sorry. 78 pounds. 0.78. 0.78 pounds. So 78 hundredths of a pound is how much you're going to get when you pay $1. So not quite a whole pound of apples. So that's the first answer. Now notice it was per $1. $1 was in the denominator for our unit rate. On D, we're now going to have cost per 1 pound of apples. So now my denominator has 1 pound and my numerator has the dollar sign. So because everything is switched, I'm going to also switch what I know. I know that you pay $3.87 for 3 pounds of apples. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to divide. Fractions are just another way of writing division. So I'm going to get my calculator back out. It clears itself automatically now. Divide by 3. I didn't write that down right. Divide by 3. There we go. Enter. Okay, so this is $1.29. So if I want exactly 1 pound of apples, I'm going to be paying $1.29. I want you to pause right here and think, how are these different? Are they both rates? Are they both unit rates? Which one tells me the best information? As a consumer, if your mom sent you out for apples, which would you prefer to know? Would you prefer to know that 78 hundredths of a pound is equal to $1? If you're budget conscious, probably. Now, if your mom says we need exactly 1 pound of apples for this pie that I'm going to make, then you better want this because that's the price that you're going to need, and make sure you have enough money to buy that 1 pound of apples that she wants. All right. So, last thing. I'll go back to pink. Last thing. One last one. So we have last definition and example. So unit price. We've already gone over this, but now we're actually defining it. So unit price is the cost of 1 unit. And our example is that we are buying a 2-liter bottle of soda for a party, and it costs us $3.80. So I want to find the unit price. Oh, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Anyway, of 1 liter. So a lot of things in the grocery store are for large amounts. So I want to make sure that I'm getting a good deal for 1 liter. I want to know how much is just that 1 liter costing, because maybe I want to buy 2 1 liters instead of 1 2-liter bottle of soda. So right now I want the price of 1 liter. So I want the price of 1 liter. I want the numerator of some money, and I want the denominator of 1 liter. That's my unit rate. It's a price because money is in the numerator and something different in the denominator. Okay? So I know that 2 liters costs us $3.80. So pause the video. How can I take this 2 liters and multiply or divide to make it 1 liter? And then apply the same thing to $3.80. All right, you're back. So 2 divided by 2 makes 1. I'm dividing by 2. So then $3.80 divided by 2 is $1.50 plus 40, so it should be $1.90. So 1 liter of soda will cost us $1.90. All right, I know I'm past my 15-minute mark. Make sure after the video, pause this, reflect here, and yeah, hope you have questions and we can discuss it and practice in class. See you later. Bye.